This article is about the cocktail. For other uses, see Cuba Libre. Rum and Coke redirects here. For the Dub Pistols album, see Rum and Coke. The Cuba Libre is a highball made of cola, lime, and white rum. This highball is often referred to as a rum and coke in the United States, Canada, the UK, Ireland, Australia and New Zealand, where the lime juice may or may not be included. History. Accounts of the invention of the Cuba Libre vary. One account claims that the drink was invented in Havana, Cuba around 1901/1902. Patriots aiding Cuba during the Spanish-American War and, later, expatriates avoiding prohibition regularly mixed rum and cola as a highball and a toast to this Caribbean island. According to Bacardi, the world's second most popular drink was born in a collision between the United States and Spain. It happened during the Spanish-American War at the turn of the century when Teddy Roosevelt, the Rough Riders, and Americans in large numbers arrived in Cuba. One afternoon, a group of off-duty soldiers from the U.S. Signal Corps were gathered in a bar in Old Havana. Fausto Rodriguez, a young messenger, later recalled that Captain Russell came in and ordered Bacardi rum and Coca-Cola on ice with a wedge of lime. The captain drank the concoction with such pleasure that it sparked the interest of the soldiers around him. They had the bartender prepare a round of the captain's drink for them. The Bacardi rum and Coke was an instant hit. As it does to this day, the drink united the crowd in a spirit of fun and good fellowship. When they ordered another round, one soldier suggested that they toast to Cuba Libre, in celebration of the newly freed Cuba. The captain raised his glass and sang out the battle cry that had inspired Cuba's victorious soldiers in the War of Independence. However, there are some problems with Bacardi's account, as the Spanish-American War was fought in 1898, Cuba's liberation was in 1898, and the Rough Riders left Cuba in September 1898. But Coca-Cola was not available in Cuba until 1900. According to a 1965 deposition by Fausto Rodriguez, the Cuba Libre was first mixed at a Cuban bar in August 1900 by a member of the U.S. Signal Corps, referred to as John Doe. According to Havana Club, along with the mojito and the daiquiri, the Cuba Libre shares the mystery of its exact origin. The only certainty is that this cocktail was first sipped in Cuba. The year? 1900. 1900 is generally said to be the year that cola first came to Cuba, introduced to the island by American troops. But Cuba Libre. Was the battle cry of the Cuba Liberation Army during the War of Independence that ended in 1898. Popularity. This drink was once viewed as exotic, with its dark syrup, made from cola nuts and coca. Soon, as Charles H. Baker, Jr. points out in his Gentleman's Companion of 1934, the Cuba Libre caught on everywhere throughout the American South. Filtered through the North and West, aided by the ample supply of its ingredients. In the American language, 1921, H. L. Mencken writes of an early variation of the drink. The troglodytes of western South Carolina coined Jump Steady for a mixture of Coca-Cola and denatured alcohol. Connoisseurs reputedly preferred the taste of what had been aged in Model T Fords. The drink gained further popularity in the United States after the Andrews Sisters recorded a song named after the drink's ingredients, rum and Coca-Cola. Cola and rum were both cheap at the time, and this also contributed to the widespread popularity of the concoction. Recipe variations. ʻkjuːbə is a Cuba Libre made from Bacardi Gold instead of Bacardi Superior, giving it a deeper, more complex flavor. The Cuba Pintada is 1 part rum with 2 parts club soda and just enough cola so that it tints the club soda. The Cuba Campechana contains 1 part rum topped off with equal parts of club soda and cola. They are both popular refreshments, especially among young people. Other recent variations are the Cuba Light made with rum and Diet Coke, and the Witch Doctor made with dark rum and Dr. Pepper. Another variation of the Cuba Libre is the Cuban Missile Crisis. Compared to a normal Cuba Libre, it uses a higher proof rum, such as Bacardi 151. A variation of the Cuba Libre popular in the West Indies is ʻkjuːbə Cuba Libre, which includes a splash of Caribbean hot sauce. Some people substitute cream soda and spiced rum to create a bright gold drink, often referred to as a Midas. Another common variation is the use of golden, or dark rum as opposed to white rum. This variation is the most commonly used in Venezuela. Another variation is the use of white rum and cherry or vanilla Coke. This is most commonly known in the U.S. as the Gringo. Local variations. The drink's name has evolved somewhat in both Cuba and the United States, where some choose to refer to it as a mentirita, in an opinionated reference to Cuban politics. In Australia, the more popularly known drink is simply Rum and Coke or Rumbo, which contains no lime, commonly uses a local dark rum and can be purchased in cans as a ready-to-drink. However, the combination of light rum, brown sugar and cola is commonly ordered at cocktail bars as a Cuba Libre. In Brazil, there is another variation, made with canela section A and lemon without peeling. In Britain, the drink is most commonly served without the lime juice and ordered simply as a Bacardi and Coke. When the lime juice is included and rubbed around the rim of the glass, it can be known as a ๊liβṛe, after the popular singer. Often the drink is called Cuban for the original mix and white Cuban when Coke is replaced with Sprite or 7-Up. In Chile and Spain, Cuba Libre is also called Ron Cola, and ๊kjuːbə. In Spain it is commonly used dark rum, not light. In Costa Rica, it is normally known as Ron Coca, although a low-calorie variation called Tico Libre is made with gold or dark rum, diet cola and garnished with lemon for a refreshing finish. In the Cayman Islands, the beverage is generally consumed with a dark rum, rather than the traditional white rum. This variation was pioneered by Radley Raderswatler, at a local youth hangout commonly referred to as the Bench. In Czech Republic and Slovakia, ťkjuːbə, a popular local soft drink, is frequently used instead of Coke. Also, the rum is often substituted by sumac. In the Dominican Republic it is a popular drink poured with a generous amount of locally produced Dominican rum and cola, topped off with a slice of lime. In Finland the drink is most commonly referred to as a råmikola. It contains light or dark rum depending on the preference of the consumer and a dash of lemon or lime juice. Råmikola is usually garnished with a slice from the fruit from which the juice is extracted. In some restaurants and bars the name Cuba Libre is used to emphasize that the rum used is of Cuban origin. In Germany, like in many other European countries, the most common variation of the drink is Rum and Coke, called Rum Cola or Cola Rum in German. Sometimes, dark or spiced rum is used instead of light rum. In Eastern Germany, the variation with dark rum is sometimes considered to be connected to Ostalgie, since a popular bottled ready-to-drink product with dark rum and with the very generic brand name Cola Rum existed in East Germany from the early 1970s until German reunification. In Greece Thessaloniki, there is another variant, that consists of Retsina and cola, named Ťkjuːbə Libre. Ťkjuːbə is the name of a neighborhood in Thessaloniki. In India, the more popularly known drink is simply Rum and Coke, which contains no lime, commonly uses a local rum. Mixing cola with hard alcoholic beverages other than rum is quite popular in India. In Mexico, it is one of the most popular alcoholic drinks and it is usually referred to simply as a ๊kjuːbə. In the Netherlands the drink is usually served without lime and commonly referred to as bacco, from the two ingredients of Bacardi rum and cola. In Newfoundland, there has been a long history of trading dried salted codfish to the West Indies, usually for rum, molasses and spices. Newfoundland Screech, a rum which is actually made in Jamaica, is popularly mixed with Coke, without lime. One variation to this drink is called the Tomori, which involves equal parts dark rum, water and Coke. In Nicaragua, when it is mixed using flor de col plus or minus A and cola, it is called a Nica Libre. In Puerto Rico, a variation called spicy cherry, or spicy vanilla is made of spiced rum, cherry Coke or vanilla Coke, and garnished with a lime. In Peru, a variation called Peru Libre is made with pisco rather than rum. In Poland, when it is mixed using Burn and rum, it is called a Poland Libre. This, because Burn is a popular drink to mix in Poland and the drink turns red. In Russia Cuba Libre without the lime juice is called Rock 'n' Roll Star, after a popular song that features the recipe. Any distilled spirit could be substituted for a rum in a pinch, but these variations generally do not have any specific names. In the USA, the Cuba Libre, commonly known as the Gringo, is mixed with vanilla Coke and Captain Morgan's white rum. In Venezuela, the Cuba Libre preparado includes a dash of gin and a dash of Angostura bitters. References, notes. External links, media related to Cuba Libre at Wikimedia Commons.